2020, I can honestly say, I know COVID hit everyone. Forget COVID, it genuinely was the worst year of mine and Bertie's life. The biggest thing is that you can be living a completely normal life and then at a drop of a hat, we have to stop everything. Bertie's actually been diagnosed with an arachnoid cyst, which is a cyst in his brain. There was just that much pressure being built up onto his skull. They just could not believe that he could even walk. He's had 10 rounds of brain surgery and every time has been eventful. 3 emergency care flights, 10 weeks in hospital. For up to a year he couldn't walk. Physio, body combat, play therapy, OT, speech therapy. It has such an impact on how we live our life. That's why Starlight's so amazing, because my baby had 7 rounds of brain surgery in one time and I was completely on my own. They were my saving grace for entertaining Bertie, being a support network. The captains come in and they just want to be like that burst of energy. To really cheer Bertie up, the captains would sing, read stories, play with their little ukuleles, be silly. When you're in hospital for a long period of time, you do want to have that escape. I remember heading into the Starlight room and the captain literally made this fake road. Bertie could use all his cars because at the time he was just obsessed. And the idea was that we needed to get Bertie to walk. Bertie was climbing, was walking, so we filmed it and then showed the doctor when we went out. Prior to going in, no one could get him out of bed. And yeah, like I said, that captain just got it, like I would never have even my imagination thought of that. When I asked Bertie what he would love to do, it was 100% to see Batman. When we went on our Starlight wish, he was dressed head to toe. It was in heaven. Like he was chasing the Joker around movie world. He genuinely thought he was Batman. He saw Catwoman and he's like, "Stop, Catwoman!" He fully submerged himself into that character and he just had the time of his life. When you go through trauma, you really need, people to sort of lift you up and pull you through. And I think that Starlight fundamentally did that. Could not imagine, and I do not want to imagine, Starlight not helping us in the future or other families.
George was born at 27 weeks and it was a pretty rough journey for George. I just had to prioritise being with George and that just unfortunately meant Stella had to miss out on me during the day. I didn't feel George was well enough for me to step out. So to have the Starlight room there meant I could spend time with Stella and still being present for George if he needed me. It was just such a nice spot for her to retreat to and be able to feel like I was still being a fun mum that was giving my child some positive attention. One of the main times we see them now, he had to have a CT scan. For the time that we were waiting for him to get his cannula, when I could see his little brain ticking over with just sheer panic, the captains came in and they just kept him entertained for 10 or 15 minutes and they were singing and being silly and jumping on the ground and making him laugh, and that was 10 or 15 minutes. He didn't need to sit there terrified of what was about to happen. it's really heartwarming to know that there's so many people that are helping kids that are going through such a tough time, and the families as well. I always say, if you're going to donate somewhere, donate to Starlight. I just think that it's such an amazing organisation.
When Thea came along, being the second child, she just slot right in. It didn't take long for her personality to come out though, pulling faces at strangers, and she just always had this cheek about her. So she was born to just fit in and be so easygoing, but also just make her presence so incredibly known. When Thea got diagnosed, it was completely out of the blue. John just made a comment that he'd seen something in her eye. Appeared to just be like a bit of a speck in her eye, and luckily it was the thing that John couldn't let go, and he started Googling, and then when we saw this could be really serious, things happened quite quickly. I think then the toughest part was once we'd made the decision of, how we were going to treat Thea, and explaining that she was about to lose her eye. She was 2.5 at the time, but her sister was very much aware. And, we then saw her in the bathroom, like covering one eye and looking around, and, she was already thinking like, what's her life going to be like? In the blink of an eye, she'd gone from being so happy and healthy, to losing her eye.
After we came to hospital and we were admitted, our first real interaction with Starlight was pretty much that day when we came in for the enucleation, where straight away the Starlight captains were there waiting for us, and as soon as we got there, it instantly changed the mood. Like even for us, as soon as we saw the captains, they were playing her music while she was getting her eye drops, and they just completely changed the experience. Where it was really good.
Every admission following, the first thing she asked for is, are the captains going to be there?
Yeah, coming up to the Starlight room and changing, that negative experience into playing and having a fun time, was just invaluable. It was second to none.
I could say 100%. If Starlight had not been around, I think it would have been unbearable for her.
Thank you, Starlight. Howdy, howdy. That song is always so loud at the start. Also, it doesn't help I've got my 3DS music blaring in my ears. That can go mute for a second. Howdy, howdy. Let's see if anyone else rocks up. Otherwise, this would be an interesting charity run. Although normally we start off pretty slow and then it kicks up. Hard to say, because YouTube doesn't really tell me, like, for it to count concurrent viewers, I'm not sure if it counts people active or people in general. It's hard to say, because sometimes it counts people only active and engaging, and then other times it will count everyone, so I haven't got a clue. I mean, it says two watching only because I'm counting YouTube side, but I do have apparently like some others on Twitch and all that, but we'll see. It says 4 watching overall for everything, but as I said, I'm gonna give it just a slight little chance to warm up, which is fine because I'm trying to find something and I can't find it. It's like our... Hold on, is that what I'm looking for? I swear I had a script. Okay, I guess not. Did I not have a script? Or am I thinking Venados? I think I might have had a script for Venados, but I don't think I've ever had... Is that all I get? Okay. Normally when I do these spills, I've got some sort of script that I need to read. But in this case, it's either been deleted or I'm thinking of the Benados charity run that I did that gave me a script. Which was great of them because it made my life so much easier. Your skills, those are lost relics. What's this? If I didn't have skills, I still wouldn't be getting on speedrun leaderboards and like decent positions. I have that, and that's the only information I can find. Unless I go to the Tiltify page, that's probably the other place I can find. Also, people need to be on their bestest behavior today because this one will be an upload. Where did I put it? I think I put it in here. I did. So this speedrun will be being uploaded regardless if it's a PB or not. Because I'm going to be doing full-blown commentary for it. And plus, as I said, it's also for charity, so I would expect people to be on their bestest behaviour for that, since I do... I didn't do that. I sometimes will have the charity corp actually, like, potentially come in and do a sneak attack onto the stream. Well, I mean, today I kind of have to be. I mean, I'm actually wearing, like, proper attire today. So I'm going to try my best not to even swear as well. Put it that way. I'm actually going to try my best. Although, I think the last time I did a charity run, I think I did really well. Hopefully I didn't adjust anything on the fly. I guess I just read off this. Yeah, I'm just gonna read that. I think that's my script. God, I haven't done something like this for ages. Australians not swearing. Actually, we're pretty good. Like, if anyone's familiar with Worcester, whenever he does charity runs, it's actually very, very whiplashy because, you know, you see him stream, you see any of his clips and all that whenever he does Pokemon. And then, well, I'll put it this way, he's a bit like Ben. But then you see him do a charity run and it's a complete 360 and it's a bit of a whiplash sometimes. It's like, whoa, is this the same Worcester? Oh my lord. Nah, as I said, I mean, I'll still make jokes about it, but as I said, I won't go overboard. As I said, this will be a YouTube upload as well. It's good. The run overall, if it's going to be trifecta, 1 hour, 20, 30 minutes probably, depending on like how yellow line mainly goes, but we'll see. And then if quad does get met, quad will bring it up to, what's any percent's time? Hour 50, 2 hours, 2 hour run? Which is a decently long speed run for Star Fox wise anyways. Even 100% doesn't go for that long. I think 100%'s like an hour or something, it's not that. Oh, what's the 3DS 100% time? I don't really look at 100% because it's not a category that I've actually actively looked at. Just curious, what did 30 cents get to 100%? Hour 21. Okay, so that sounds about right because Trifecta's PB is 120 on N64. 100% being 1 hour 21 is about point blank where it should be. If anything, it probably is a little bit on the slow side for 3D standards, but I can't talk because I haven't even attempted 100%, let alone thought about it. Alright, I'm gonna... When Discord stops being annoying, actually Discord can go on the bin. No distractions, goodbye. Okay. Alright, well, my layout's saying we've got 10 people watching. Howdy, 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 people. We're about to get started very, very soon. I was just waiting for everything to warm up and make sure I've got everything ready. Timer's ready. Is the auto split ready? Probably not. Nope, auto split's not ready. It's on it's on red line. That would be an absolute disaster. Well, actually, my auto split may not even work today because I ain't playing in Japanese. Ha! I can't wait for everything to fall apart, so the timer might be a bit wonk today. Ugh. How you doing, Ivan? Alright. Alright, I've got my drinks. I've got plenty of liquids with me because, as I said, I'm going to be doing a lot more commentary than I normally do. And as I said, this will be for a YouTube video. Hopefully my brain doesn't forget that halfway through. I hope not. 3 runs. What did I do last charity stream? 2 runs. And 1 was a world record. I mean, if 1's to world record today, it would be yellow line. But to be fair, I'm the only runner. And I don't think my run in yellow line was that great. So that will be maybe a free PB. Blue line was also up for a free PB. And red line, hell no, we're not beating red line. I think I'm at a point where I've got to get a god run to beat that. Which says something. Alright, I think everything's good to go. We all good to go, chat? So I should probably like say the incentives as well for like what we're doing. Fuck, I will need Discord. I closed it down. I'm gonna need it back because I don't remember my personal incentives. Where did I throw you? Alright. I think I've got all the information in front of me. Why does that look odd? Something's moved. Great. I figured that might happen. Wait, I can't. Great, what have I done? Select window. Oh my god, I can't click it. You've got to be kidding me, right? Why can I not select that window? They've changed it and I've done an oopsie. and I've broken it. What about... No? I've broken it. I broke it just before we started. Because something didn't look right and then I broke it. I should not have touched it. That's not what I want. I want it layout. Yeah, I broke it. We broke it. We broke it. Kill. Star. Something just didn't look right on the thing, so I tried to fix it and it told me no. Yeah, no, it looks weird. Did I accidentally? I did. There we go, I fixed it. Yeah, that's right. That height should be 200. According to this. Why do you still look shit? No, it's 240. There we go. I hope I don't need to do that in all of them. Actually, now that I've done that, what's the bet something else is broken? I touched one thing. That's all it took. I touched one thing. Hold on, we're just going to load up like one screen and then Is it broken on here? No, it's not. Surprisingly. I love how that hasn't broken. Okay. I also noticed one other thing that's broken. It wasn't broken the last time I went into the... Oh, okay. No, it was broken, because I didn't add it. I need... Oh no, that's play. No, don't take it from Scarlet and Violet. Don't take it from that. Scarlet and Violet will break it. Speedrun. For some reason I gotta do that. Okay, now we're good to go. Everything should be working. As I said, I hope I don't need to do that other thing for like all my others, otherwise this ain't auto-splitting at all. Which should be fun. Alright, let's get into it. G'day you beautiful awesome people and welcome to this year's charity speedrun for the Australian Starlight Children's Foundation, where we hope to raise money to help all sick Aussie kids in dire need of medical expenses, as well as making their trip from their home away from home a little bit easier. So I'm going to give you a little bit of corporate spiel here for a second. Well, just bear with me while we get through this, and then we'll be into these shenanigans and I'll explain all that as well. It'll be quite a long stream considering 3 speedruns, but here is the little spiel that I need to do. Since 1988, Starlight Children's Foundation Australia's mission has been to brighten the lives of seriously ill children and their families. Starlight recognises that there is more treatment than medicine and that sick children often just need a chance to be a child. With the money that is donated, Starlight is able to give children access to Starlight's in-hospital programs. This includes the Starlight Express Rooms, or medical-free havens for children and their families to take a break, as well as the Captain Starlight program, which brings professional performers into hospitals to provide children with entertainment, laughter and joy. With a once bright life become dull by needles, hospital visits and painful treatments, Starlight helps sick kids to forget their illness and rediscover the joy of childhood. And that is basically what the Starlight Children's Foundation is. And with $20 donated, provides art and craft pack to a sick child in hospital. $39 brightens the hospital experience for a sick child in our Starlight Express room. $79 provides a custom fun-filled travel backpack for a Starlight Wish child. $288 broadcast Starlight TV to sick child kids in the hospital for a week. $840 gives a seriously ill teen access to vital peer support online for a year. And $2,500 will help fly Captain Starlight to a remote health clinic to give kids there a chance to access vital support where normally support cannot reach due to limitations of the rural regions. I can't speak anymore. Our personal incentives as well is, my phone has died, of course it has. At the $150 level, we'll unlock the solo lock randomizer challenge. This will probably be played on Crystal. If you've seen me done this challenge before in the past, it's basically that. I get to get one of my starter Pokemon, choice of 3, and I have to use that Pokemon all the way through the game. Once it dies, that's it. It's a reset completely, and I have to go choose another Pokemon and do said thing again. So it's a solo Nuzlocke, self-explanatory. $250 is a Pokemon Stadium 2 rental randomizer. Need a better name. If anyone wants to suggest a better one, go for it. But it's going to be the Stadium 2 rental randomizer challenge that I've done in the past, but with the twist of it's actually randomized this time. So instead of vanilla sets, they will be randomized, and of course on top of it I'll have to do the rental randomizer as well. So a randomizer on top of a randomizer. And of course our usual shenanigans at $500, which is our goal this year due to circumstances behind the scenes. Ocarina of Time 3D randomizer full edition. If you've seen all of my other year's randomizers, this is usually the big one. It's a randomizer where most items are ice traps, and they're called fulls, which is why it's called the full edition. If this incentive isn't met, it'll just be the usual shenanigans with Ocarina of Time 3D. Still gonna be lots of laughs and fun, sure, but probably not as many ice traps. And we do have some extender goals. At $750, there will be a horror VR game stream, just the one, because I'm no good at horror games. But of course, if that incentive is met, you get a chance to put me behind a VR headset and play a horror game and probably watch myself. Yeah, that'll be fun. And the big one is at $1,000, the extender goal is an Egglock randomizer charity challenge run where all of the donators get a chance to submit a Pokemon, and there's little incentives been explained on my Discord for further info there if you want some, but basically people donate eggs and I've got to use them. And there, of course, are certain incentive levels there for what type of egg you can send me for that one, if that incentive is met. And that is all the fun spill on that. That was a lot of talking. So we've got the talking out the way. I'm going to apologise, I ain't shutting up anytime soon, but we are going to get some gameplay going. So without further ado, let's boot the game up. And let's actually get some running. Did I actually put a chat on this? No, I did not. Ah, for peak's sakes. I thought I had everything fixed, and we've already run into a oopsie doozy. Yeah, is everyone still awake? I do apologise, it was a long spiel, but it had to be done, and of course I forgot my chat. Oh, wait, what chat's gonna work on this? I swear I did this chat already.
Message from General Pepper, priority 1.
We need your help, Starbucks. Andros has declared war. He's invaded the
Someone better not do a message that goes outside this border. Otherwise it's gonna look absolutely horrendous. Alright. I swear I put that chat there before last time, but I guess I didn't, so... Yay. Anyways, welcome to Star Fox 64. Usually I run this game in Japanese, but today, since it is a charity stream, we are going to be running this in English. Is there a difference between English and Japanese? As far as I'm aware, no, there should not be a major difference between Japanese and English. They should run at about the same speed. There are some parts where I do question the speed, though, in some areas, but since we do skip a lot of the end cutscenes, unlike the original, it should mean both languages should be about the same speed. I know in the original, the N64 version, yes, there is some discrepancies between English and Japanese, and so probably not so much due to less lag. And the same should be said for Star Fox 64-3. However, having said that, I haven't personally tested it, but usually it doesn't matter. So today's goal is to run through all 3 lines. Usually the trifecta requirements is blue line, 80%, red line. However, today I'm going to modify it since 80% I haven't gotten world record in. We're actually going to kick it from the queue. We're going to do blue line, yellow line, and red line today. And if someone meets the incentive for the quadfecta, I will actually throw in 80%. And then if we do get the extra incentive met, I will do an all stages speedrun on top of it. So all stages I haven't done in the past at all, so all stages will be new. So if anyone has any questions throughout this run as well, feel free to ask, and I will do my best to answer any questions anyone has, be it on the original or for 3D. Though I will say for the original, I'm not too well versed in that. I'm more well versed in 3D. Alright, so let's start. We're going to start with blue line. Everyone should be familiar with blue line. The rules for blue line are simple. We must follow the blue line route. We must kill all bosses, which means the secret warp in Video is not allowed, or the secret warp in Sector X.
It's about time you showed up, Fox.
So today we're not playing Law Percent. We must skip all of the cutscenes because cutscenes waste time. So we just press start and skip them, and nothing is working. Oh, because it's on red line again. What are you doing on red line? Can we, like... Alright. I was going to say this run is proudly supported by no resets, but I'm going to have to do a reset because the time did not start. Which, that was my fault. Oh, and we got a Rob jump scare, so it probably was good that I did that. Alright. Second time's a charm. When your timer doesn't work. I should probably make sure the timer works before we get into this. What's your opinion on Peppy Hair? He's wise, but unfortunately he does need to retire. Peppy's getting a bit old.
It's about time you showed up,
We'll put it that way.
You're the
And Peppy Hair is worse than Slippy. Slippy, he's a bit inexperienced because he's tadpole, and of course that didn't work, which I figured. So we're manually splitting today. Alright, welcome to the Corneria, the tutorial stage for this game. Corneria has been featured in a lot of the Star Fox games, and there's even a throwback to the original Star Fox with the blue line route, oh sorry, not blue line, red line route, which we'll see later on in the run. But for now, we're entering Corneria. As I said, mainly tutorial. We get to show off half boosting, which is the fastest movement in the game, which we just boost up to around the third bomb or just underneath the life icon. And we do this entire way through the run because it's faster. The only exceptions to this rule is the Landmaster, which uses quarter boosting. And Landmaster just sucks overall. I guess it's fun. I'll just leave it that. We'll talk about the Landmaster when we get there. So as you can see, I'm kind of boosting in particular areas. I'm also avoiding the checkpoint because it can slow the game down ever so slightly, plus we don't ever use them. So our first option here is saving Falco. Do we just let him die, or do we just let him die? Did I say that twice? I probably did. I'm kind of phasing out while I'm commentating here. That's going to happen throughout this entire run too. So we saved him just because it's good for my muscle memory. The moment I stop and I go to do another line where I do need to save him, I'm probably going to forget. But we're not going to trigger red line just yet because we do need to fly through the arches. However, since this is blue line, I'm not going to do said thing, so we're flying right over him. Normally, I would fly on the other side of the map because it's a little bit less laggier. Did that split? Yes, it did. So what I picked up there was a laser upgrade. These are also laser repairs, which will repair... I don't know why it's doing that. Repair the lasers if we do take wing damage. So first up, we're just gonna brake, and I shot its leg, which is gonna do no damage. So normally what you're supposed to do there is just brake, start shooting his back as fast as you can. Of course, I was one hit off. And that's the first boss down. So you're gonna have to ignore my timer. It's being shoddy. Oh look, it actually might be faster than running Japanese. Although, to be fair, I did screw the boss up. Alright, so next up is Meteor. Meteor is probably a lot of people's favorites because of the secret warp, but as I said, since this is a blue line and we are required to beat all the bosses, the secret warp is completely forbidden in a blue line run. Although, if you are talking any percent, though, rules are a bit different on that one, and the Star Fox 64 N64 version does allow it for that one. However, the 80% run for 3D is actually a wee bit different, as I've found out. So if you want to see the 80% run performed, make sure to hit that incentive, which is $150 donated for charity, all for a good cause, and you'll get to see me speedrun for an extra half an hour, depending on how bad I run. So Meteor's pretty easy. Again, a lot of the tutorial stuff is still present. Somersaulting, boosting, braking, you name it. So usually here it's teaching about boosting, and then of course at the end you kind of learn about braking. But this is a speed run, we don't brake, unless of course we're trying to take out a boss. So we're boosting all the way through this. Continuing with the half boost. Bombs are extremely powerful, and you'll learn that during the speed run, and that was a terrible boost. So the other thing you'll learn too is whenever there's a communication, you press it, Rob will send you an item. Depending on where your health sits will also determine what the item drop is. So in my case, since I was at full health, it will always be a power bomb. There are some exceptions. Something like Solar may drop a silver star, which only because it's Solar. Again, we'll talk about that when we get there. If you are low health, he will tend to drop you the silver stars as well, or a silver ring, or even a gold ring if you need it, depending on how you play. Alright, so we're about a quarter, nearly actually halfway through the level. So we've got these annoying little things that come through, teaching you about barrel rolls as well, which deflects laser inputs, although it will not save you if you do it consistently, so it's not invulnerability all the time. Welcome as well to the most annoying ass enemy in the game. They just spit bubbles at you. I call them Beedrills because they do remind me of Beedrills. Skipping the checkpoint again because we don't need to use it, and in the N64 version it does slow the game down if you hit them. So with that, we are coming up to everyone's favorite part of Meteor, which is the warps. So for this, I'm going to take a half boost, then go for a full boost, hit the first warp, hit the second warp, hit the third warp, fourth warp, and goodbye. And I actually did stop a little early, but that's fine. Normally Peppy does give me the audio cue, but I'm actually not paying attention to Peppy today. Go figure, that's nothing different, but usually I get an audio cue that tells me to stop. So a little bit slow on the warps today, but that's perfectly fine. And with that, we're up to Meteor's boss. The Meteor Crusher. See, today we actually get all the boss names.
Let's see what you've got.
Alright, the Meteor Crusher is pretty easy. First thing we gotta do is shoot the yellow triangles, not the grey ones. They are deflectors, so if you shoot that enough times, they will shoot back. Oh, did I? Oh, I was too busy showing off the deflector and not actually shooting the target. Nearly wasted some time there. So that's the first phase done. Second phase, we've got to shoot the middle bit. So speedrun wise, we do have to take a hit. But if you're good, you can just aim at the center. Boom. Bit sloppy, but it was done.
I admit defeat.
Alright, that is the entirety of phase 1 done. So we're now entering phase 2 of the Meteor Crusher. This one is pretty simple. All we gotta do is just shoot the top. And completely miss. There we go. Meteor done.
Believe I lost to this scum. Sorry to
So far, everything's been pretty easy. Mission complete. All right, we're coming up to Finch now. Now, if you've played the original, you'll be going Finch. Now, wasn't this called Fortuna? Which you are correct. In the English version of N64, there is a mistranslation where they called the planet Fortuna instead of Finchna. Finchna is the correct name. There was a mistranslation and they called it Fortuna. And fun fact, Fortuna is actually a forest planet rather than a research planet full of ice. So that's the two main differences. There is actually a planet called Fortuna, it just ain't this one. So, speedrun rise, we go hands-free. We don't need to do anything at the start, it's just a complete auto-scroller. We don't do anything. Normally, if you're going for the medal, you would start shooting some enemies down. The medal here is 50. Oh my god, I'm pretty sure it's 50. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've gone for score attack medals. But yeah, we don't need to do anything. Normally, I would start turning and doing some U-turns, but I'm doing a little bit of a different strategy at this point because Finchner's quick kill is pretty inconsistent on 3DS. It's a lot easier on N64 because there is no ceiling in N64, which allows you to do a U-turn strategy, which keeps allowing the R-wind to keep going up, and because there's no ceiling, it doesn't get stuck. And it makes it so much easier to line up on Starwolf as they enter the map.
Why are ships coming out of the base?
Which also gives us perfect timing here, so we go for a break.
Has been planted at the base.
I'm gonna also miss this.
Please, can anyone take care of it?
We press start.
You do that, Star Fox. Andros has orders to take you down.
I got some hits. Quickly do a U-turn.
Andross's enemy is my enemy.
Bit of a rough start there because bad positioning.
That's what I need to see.
Starwolf is down.
Guys first. Uncle Andros.
We'll do some braking here while we turn, just to quickly turn. That's not who I wanted to kill. And that's all Starwolf down. Not the... Wow, I was short by one. Not the most impressive Finchner. As I said, it's a little bit inconsistent in 3D, but it did kind of show off what we're going for. So in Finchner, the Wolfen 1 is able to be hit by bombs, which is the quickest way to take them out. Normally, as I said, you come through and you line yourself up as they're coming in, you target up, boom, and then you throw another bomb to the north left, boom, hit them again, and then hopefully they don't scatter, meaning you can throw a third power bomb and then hopefully take them all out. If not, you just chase down who's remaining. If done correctly, most will bite the dust. Also, I didn't split. But yeah, quite fun if done optimally. Otherwise, it can be a little bit iffy. But as I said, on N64, it's done a lot easier since there's no ceiling and there is the U-turn glitch, which does allow you to keep gaining height. And since there's no ceiling, you can go as high as you want, meaning you can lock onto them so much easier. Meanwhile, we're in Sector X. Sector X is quite fun. It's also where Blue Line starts ramping up in difficulty. This does have a secret warp, which I didn't know about for many, many years until I started speedrunning this game. Fun fact. I would not have been aware of this. You could have told me about it and I would have said, nah, there's no secret warp for Sector X. But yeah, ignorance is bliss sometimes, isn't it? Alright, so same thing usual here, half boosting all the way through. We almost dodged the B drill, a little bit slow on my boosting, but that's fine. Skipping the checkpoint once again since we don't need it, and it is a little bit slow going for it. We are going to take some intentional damage there because faster. And Peppy should die here. So hopefully there's no Peppy fans here because he will bite the dust. I'm sorry, but it's just faster. He survived. Damn. He normally dies, which means he didn't take that many hits in Finchner. Oh, wait, he will die. Never mind. He's very low on health, and there's a second spot where he does take hits. Alright, so this way is the fastest. If you go the other route, you will be taking constant hits, which will slow you down, and there's also a butt ton of obstacles to be in your way. We do actually tackle the other route, just not in this category. As I said, if you want to see the 80% route where we do tackle that incentive is there. Alright, so you can take down these enemies. It will make it a little bit easier, and it probably does make the game run just ever so slightly faster because there's less... Oh, there we go. Peppy is now dead. Huzzah! So it actually will give us a little bit of quicker movement in Titania because a little less dialogue, and also will prevent some enemy spawns as well. Peppy will sometimes spawn in some extra enemies, so if they are dead, those enemy spawns will not happen. So it is often a good thing to take out teammates. But since we were playing 3D, we're not allowed to do friendly fire. If we were playing on N64 version, yes, friendly fire is a thing, and we always take advantage of it. So Spyborg is the enemy, is the boss for Sector X. Spyborg quick kill is hell annoying on 3D, a little bit easier on N64 due to the notches on the controller, but what we need to do is line up with this particular star in the back. That's kind of my visual cue. Mash as fast as I can, and I just got slapped. That was terrible. I practiced this, and I was doing so well, but you wouldn't have known I practiced. That was terrible, man. But as I said, I'm rusty, I'm washed up. I have not actually run this in like 2 years, so it's no surprise I'm rusty. But anyways, the first phase of Spyborg is down.
You did it!
And yes, as you can see with chat, their chat's going wild. They love this boss. I see a lot of people loving this boss. Alright, Spyborg is down. That was phase 2. We just continue to shoot said head, and it bites the dust. So normally how that would play out is if you don't take that boss down quick enough, a cutscene will happen where Slippy's like, hey, I'm gonna be the hero today and I'm gonna start taking down Spyborg. And that doesn't exactly go all too well. Slippy gets slapped into Titania, and now the mission for Titania plays out where we have to rescue Slippy. If said scenario did happen, which I'm sure many of us as kids did experience this for the first time, and then found out Titania, oh boy, how is Titania a blue blind planet? Titania's first half is nuts, and I'm sure many people remember. So I missed a bomb, which is fine because there's plenty more bombs to be put down for Titania. Titania is bomb haven, so if you're running low on bombs, which we're going to need a lot of for this boss, you've got plenty of opportunities to pick them up. So, as I said a little bit earlier, the movement for Titania is quarter boosting, where we go a little bit on, and if we've done it right, there will be a circle that comes out of the Landmaster. That's usually my visual cue to figure out if I've done it right, and my god, I can't aim today, which is fine. Luckily, I'm not going for PB or world record today, we're just doing a run. As I said, this run is proudly supported by no reset, so even if it is a terrible run or whatever, no reset is to be done. So we're playing it out regardless, and as I said, this normally would have gotten a reset by now. It hasn't exactly been the best, but we're here for the fun of it, aren't we, chat? Alright, we're going to stick right to the right side here because there's usually a couple of enemies that come out, and hugging that wall is usually the best way to go about avoiding them. And that ship tried to have a little bit of fun with me, drop the bomb right in front of me, which is always fun when that happens. Squeeze in there. And now we're into the second half of Titania, which is so much easier. I'm just going to activate Rob just because I can. But at this point, we don't need the bomb because that's what he would have dropped me. If my health was about halfway, he would have dropped a silver ring for me. Alright, so Titania's second half, as I said, completely different difficulty curve compared to the first half of Titania. Titania wants you dead at the first half. The second half is pretty cruisy. We just quarter boost all the way to the boss here. Trying to avoid all the boulders that come and try and squash my head. You're not supposed to barrel roll in the Landmaster. Yeah, the movement in Landmaster is so awkward. If you try to go for the barrel roll as they suggest, you're gonna have a bad day. It's absolutely horrendous. It's very slow, it's very clunky. Whoever made the Landmaster did not know what they were doing. If they made Slippy design the Landmaster, that would have been a completely different story. Alright, the boss of Titania, me and it have a very love-hate relationship. It has cost me a couple of world records, which is never fun, and I tend to call it a Temu Body Harvest boss, because it reminds me of something out of Body Harvest. Also, that was a terrible bomb. Can you please let go? Alright, I'm gonna not take out the last of its arms. I'm just gonna keep shooting it until Slippy does the data analysis for the boss. I'm gonna do that. Then, once the boss analysis is done, throw some bombs. How are you still alive? And then balla bing, balla boom, the boss is dead. That's the easiest way to take up this boss. I figured that out during practice run, actually, yesterday. Also, I love how I didn't split. Alright, everyone's favourite boss. And by everyone's favourite, I mean I absolutely hate this planet because it's cost me so many PBs and world records, it's not funny. And this is also a huge reset spot for me. So boss, we start off with this. I will always take a hit at the start there. And I think I destroyed that pillar. So there's six pillars here. We've got to shoot the top of them to remove the shield field, whatever the hell it is in the center there. The shield generator will deactivate when all of these are dead. So we do a boost, line up, shoot them down as fast as we can. Generator drops, and then all the enemies start spawning. If you try to shoot an enemy beforehand, they will be covered by a force field, which will protect them. So we've got no other choice to take them out. So normally at this point, we hope Slippy gets attacked, or even Peppy. That's a big bonus if Peppy gets attacked, because he always has enemies coming after him. And I just peeved off Falco. This is a there we go. Can you stop shooting me? Core arrays after 10 enemies have died after dropping the shield. At that point, we break, we approached, we start shooting. And of course, I missed the one cycle again. I've only seen one first cycle ever done on Bols, and that's by the former world record for Blue Line, Lilat. And otherwise, that was a pretty quick Bols. But yeah, the only person I've seen to do a one cycle on Bols for 3D is Lilat, who is the former world record holder for Blue Line. Otherwise, Boss is pretty quick. Also, I love when this happens. Alright, Venom. Venom 1. So this is the where the difficulty really ramps up for Blue Line. This is also the hardest planet to get a medal on, and I bet no one knew you could actually medal this. So if you really want to show off at parties, you can say that you got a score attack medal for Venom 1, and they just won't believe you because this is hard as balls. 200 score attack, and you need to take a particular route and be on the ball with your cuss or charge unlock shots, or even just charge shots in general. It's not a fun time, and I can say that as someone who's actually gone for it. Not too many people have actually gone for the score attack medal for this. So Venom 1 has a lot of particular turns you can do. So every time you do Venom 1, if you really wanted to challenge yourself, you could try and do a lot of alternative routes. Do left, left, left is the fastest route through Venom 1 though. Although if you do want the score attack route, it's usually right, 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 I'd like to assume. Just follow Peppy. Peppy spawns the most enemies, which in this route we don't want to do. Right, so I usually try for 3 gold rings just because Venom 1 can be a little bit sus sometimes. You can have great runs through Venom 1, or you can have a skill issue and just get hit a bazillion times, go into Gilgamesh with half health and just not have a good day. As I said, I've had some good runs through here, and then just some days I just cannot get a good Venom 1 for the life of me. So skipping the checkpoint again, because again, we don't need it. We are speedrunning. And we're meeting the halfway point of Venom 1, which is Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is an absolute joy to do fast in 3D, because it's actually possible to do. In an N64 variant, I have seen some strategies which I've tried to implement into 3D, but we kind of don't have a point because he just goes down pretty easily. No idea why they decided to make him a bit easier in 3D, which I'm not going to complain. So at this point, 5 ticks and he will go down. We're going to try and not take too many hits. That was fast kill on him, but that somersault, ooh. So I was just about to say, normally you don't want to take too many hits going through that tunnel, but yeah, I somersaulted, didn't mean to. That's just a huge skill issue there. That's gonna make going through the tunnel very sus now. But you know what, this is a charity run. I'm gonna go and just do it anyways. I'm gonna boost through this. If I lose a wing, then chat can just laugh at me. Chat loves it when I lose a wing. I have not lost a wing in here for yonks. So this could be a first in God knows how long since I've lost a wing in here. So the disadvantages of losing a wing is it will decrease my laser down into a single shot, which is what I don't want, but this tunnel will... There we go, I lost a wing. I thought so. So I'm not going to have triple laser going into Andros. That's really sad. But as I said, it's for charity, it's worth it. I'll donate $10 for the sake of a lost wing. I didn't think that was going to happen, but oh well. Do a full boost going into Andros, and I've got a double laser, so this won't go down as quick as I'd like it to be. As I said, normally in a run, I would not play that risky. I would take it a bit slower, but as I said, it's for charity. We show off. So for Andros, we just shoot his hands after shooting his eyes. And I might need to throw a bomb here, so I don't... Oh, never mind. Alright, 24-14. A bit slow, but that was blue line. As they're going into Andros with a double laser, it's not wise, unless, of course, you're really good at mashing. But oh well. First line done! Actually, it might be a little bit slower than 24-14. I actually didn't start on time, but that's alright. Alright, with that run done. So, to prevent any Peppy or Rob jump scares, we're actually going to completely close that down. And then reboot. As I said, if you play for 15 or 20 minutes, it'll actually give you a reminder to take a break, which we don't want to do. And as I said, I don't really want to be jump scared by Rob today. So with that, we're now moving on to Yellow Line. Yellow Line is probably the least liked out of all of the runs, just because it's... well, it's not as entertaining as Blue Line, and it's definitely way less entertaining than Red Line. So Yellow Line is kind of considered the black sheep of the routes. Not too many runners for it, and as I said, it's honestly, in my opinion, it's actually not the most entertaining, but it is one of the main categories, so we'd be doing it. So we're back in Corn area. However, this time we're gonna have to play a little bit different. Same rules for Blue Line, except this time we have to stick with Yellow Line, which is going to be a bit confusing because Yellow Line only goes for a wee little bit. There's 3 planets on the yellow line. And the other rule is we need to beat all bosses, which means we can't get to yellow line using Meteor, which means we have to go through Sector Y. And Sector Y is always a joy to play. But it's good because I get a little bit of a warm-up for Red Line. Red Line is always so fun for speedruns. It's kind of your first skill check when it comes to Yellow Line, especially for Red Line, but Yellow Line has so many skill checks, it's not funny. And I think that could be another reason why people don't enjoy it. Alright, try to pick up as many bombs as I can because we're going to need them. I think I also... No, I haven't. I'm coming up to the next bomb. I need to remind myself to pick this one up because otherwise I'm going to be low on bombs. So Yellow Line requires a lot of power bombs. If you don't have them, you're not going to have a fun time in Cantina, which is our 3rd planet we need to get to. So same thing as before, I'm going to save Falco, but this time I need to make sure I do all the requirements for Red Line. So kill all the ships there. You can lock onto them and just throw a charge shot. That could be a little bit faster, but sometimes I find a charge shot does miss or it runs into a pillar and you end up killing no one and wasting time instead. So sometimes it's just better to do manual shots rather than a charge shot. Alright, this time we actually do need to flank these archers. So we go under, try our best not to skid on the water because that can cause a bit of lag, especially on N64. But like, that actually counted. I was just about to hit the reset button. I was like, oh my god, I missed Red Line. And invalidate the whole entire run. But that somehow counted. Oh well, I ain't questioning it. We move on, it counted. The game knew I wanted Red Line. So the hitbox for that last arch is a little weird. Sometimes it will count, other times it doesn't. I don't understand it. Usually just try your best to go under it. So here's our throwback to the original Star Fox. The air carrier is also one of the bosses in the original Star Fox. And I was not paying attention. I read chat, didn't even pay attention to what was going on my screen. Normally we use U-turn there for a little bit of swag. Does it save time? It does on N64, but for 3D, no it doesn't. Also, this is terrible. I think that's my slowest attack carrier in years. So I failed the swag, and I get the slow run instead. So that was complete karma. It's alright, we'll get a proper attack carrier in Red Line. With that, that is Corneria beat, and we're moving on to Red Line instead. The reason why we don't go to Meteor is because we need to beat all bosses, and since the Meteor secret warp does not beat a boss, it does not meet the requirements for Yellow Line. Which is why we're going here instead. Alright, Sector Y. Sector Y I find quite fun, except for its boss. The requirements for Red Line accomplishment requires you to have a score attack of 100 or more at the end of it. So if you don't want to make your way to Aquos, you just boost your way through, which is great for a speedrun. So Sector Y does have a lot of lag in the original N64, which is why in 80% they don't do this route, even though it is faster than Meteor. So that's a bit of a hint to one of the main differences between 3D 80% and N64 80%. Also, the other fun shenanigans, since we don't have a cockpit in this version, going through that little tunnel does cause a little bit of lag. But if you go into the cockpit mode while doing that area, you actually don't get any lag whatsoever. No slowdown, in other words, and you can just go straight through it. It is very whiplashy doing it, actually, if just being so used to that lag for so many years. Again, we're skipping the checkpoint, we don't need it. And yes, it does give me a little bit of whiplash sometimes doing this with a score attack of 0, and then I'll go to do Red Line, think I'm doing Yellow Line instead, go to the end and be like, oh, why am I not going to Aquos? Complete reset at that point. So I've also had other times, like yesterday's practice run, where I'm doing it. I think I was doing yellow line or 80%. I can't remember which one I was doing. And I did do the 100 score attack on Sector Y, which does waste a couple of seconds doing it. And I was like, oh wait, I'm going to Katina. I didn't need to do the 100. So yes, when you do red line and then go to do yellow or 80%, it is a little bit of a whiplash. We'll talk more in depth about Sector Y when we do red line, because at the moment we're just skipping everything. So we're at the end of Sector Y. At the end, there is a chance for a bomb drop for one of these ships. To which one, you won't know because it's random. Today it dropped me 2, which is what I want normally on a red line, and I never get it.
Looks different.
So Sector Y's boss is Shogun, and I hate Shogun. So the first thing we've got to do is... Awesome, I got the quick kill. That is harder than it looks. Then I want to constantly boost. I haven't been able to do that for a while. Sometimes I'll get it and other times I won't.
Slippy's hit.
Slippy's hit! And the second boss goes down, leading into the main boss. So welcome to Shogun. So normally the strat is we break and let him come to us. But since I need all the bombs I can get, I'm not going to throw a bomb and just let him come to me. And then I'm going to boost after him and hope he plays nice. Which he's not. That's Shogun for you. Shogun's a little bit like Gorgon. He knows you're speedrunning and he doesn't care. Although I am almost in front of PB, so we are good here. False hope again. The auto split isn't liking me today because it is comparing up against Japanese, which we're not playing. Now you can split. Alright, welcome to what makes Yellow Line absolute hell. Katina. This is the hardest planet in all of the speedrun. Regardless of what route you're talking, this is the hardest planet to do in the speedrun. There is so many things holding you back. So the first thing we're going to do is come down, throw a bomb, throw another bomb. We activate the mothership. At 10 kills, the mothership always spawns, which is this UFO. We then got a boost to it, and then the fun part begins. Which I can't do, apparently. So I'm going to do a somersault here. Somersault into it, throw a bomb. And then keep doing this, and hope I don't break a wing. Alright, we got 2, that's good. So once we get the 2 quick kills there on the hatches, which you can do by somersaulting and throwing a bomb whilst going into it, there's some weird shenanigans with the hitboxes with the UFO. There is a really detailed strategy to do this on N64, but I can't seem to do it on 3D. So this is the best I can do. So 2 hatches are already destroyed, as you can see, 2 remain, and the UFO kind of bugs out here a little bit. So normally it would hide the hatches, but since this is 3D and it's weird, we can just destroy the hatches straight off the bat and then just go straight into the final phase, which we can just somersault, throw a bomb, and just take the thing straight out like that. Quick kill, easy peasy, but just doing that, it looked easy. Trust me, that is far from easy to do. I have days where I just do that and I line it up as best as I can, and I still don't get the 2 hatcher kills. The best I've had is 3 hatch, which leaves me 1, which is great when that happens. But as at other days, you just don't get that lucky. I can't figure out why I get 3 hatches, and other days I get 2, and other days I get 1. So that's Katina. And as I said, there is some other shenanigans that can go on. You can get punished for being the good guy and killing no allies whatsoever. So normally Bill will tell you off there for killing off allies, but if you kill none, instead of summoning the UFO, he will instead congratulate you on being a good pilot and not summon the UFO, which is an instant reset when it happens, sadly. So you need to kill off more enemies. Also, thanks, Bill! No one likes Bill in speedruns. Bill is the worst. No one likes him. He ranks worse than Peppy. for that reason. So Solar, unfortunately, is very boring, but it is also very mechanically fun to talk about. So fun fact, Solar, you actually cannot die to heat damage. So if you were to scoot along the lava for as long as you can and not get hit by anything else, you will not die. You will remain on 1 health remaining from heat damage and never die. The only way you will die is if something runs into you or you run into lava. That is the only way you will die. So technically you can do the boss on 1 HP and see if you can go without getting hit. And yeah, that's... Otherwise, Solar's boring. You just boost the way through it. Does anyone know how to do it properly? As far as I'm aware, I have not seen any speedrunners for this game talk about how to do Solar properly. It's just boost and hope for the best. Though, as you saw at the start, I was shooting a whole bunch of birdie birds. I need as many bombs as possible for Macbeth to try and make Macbeth a little bit easier. Also, Macbeth in 3D, I did try to optimize as best as I can. It's a little bit slower than N64 only because 3D is absolutely horrible for aiming, and I just gave up and was like, yeah, no, I'm not learning the quick kill for Macbeth. Anyways, we're at the boss, the bioweapon, which I call Titania's Timu boss because it plays very similar to Titania's boss. You shoot the arms, you kill it, and then you just shoot its head, and then that's game over. As I said, Solar is a bit of a snooze. I don't blame you if you get about this planet. I don't think anyone ever remembers this planet. So yeah, that's Solar. I could have asked if anyone had any questions during that time. Probably should have. Also, I love how this is potentially going to be a PB. So that just kind of shows how bad my last yellow line was. And we're playing on English. And I'm not even taking this seriously. Alright, Macbeth. Everyone loves Macbeth. Speedrun-wise, we don't. Alright, we're back in the Landmaster. This is the last time we'll actually see the Landmaster. So, Macbeth is... it's fun casual-wise. Speedrun-wise, though, it's... it can be alright. So we lob a bomb. If I did it right, which I didn't, I would have blown up a fuel tank, which would have taken out one of the launchers. I mean, I may have destroyed it and I just could have been blind to that. But this is why we need a whole bunch of bombs, because we're going to be throwing a whole bunch of bombs at the train. So there's a lot of the fuel tankers conveniently lined up against a lot of the launchers. So the launchers will launch out missiles to take out boulders. Boulders get in the way. And since it's slow to hover, we just run into them instead, which is, again, kills a little bit of time, which we don't want. These boulders we can't avoid. These ones we can't avoid either, so just squeeze your way through like that. You don't need to hover. Hovering slow, we don't do it. Lob another bomb. Yay! Alright, they're down. So normally that would shoot some lasers out. It would also shoot some boulders down. We're going to lob another one. And we did a little bit of damage to the next laser turret thingy-jiggy that I need to take down, which is great. So normally there would be a turret there shooting down some boulders to get in my way, but since I destroyed it, it won't do said thing, which is great. So we just boost all the way through here. As I said, quarter boosting is faster for the Landmaster. If we get that little light ring that comes out, that's usually my visualizer to say I've done it right. We lob another bomb. We lob another one because hitboxes be weird. And that turret goes down. So no more shooting for the train. Train is absolutely disarmed, which means we get a quiet time coming through here. So we shoot these to lift them up. Continuing with the quarter boosting, and we're just going to take a bomb just because we can. A couple of bombs for Venom 1 is always a great thing. So now we've got everyone's favourite part of Macbeth, the switches. So there's 3 there. Gonna take Rob. Gonna zoom back over here. Take the supply drop. Then there's a 5th switch over here, which we zoom back for that. And then if we've still got Falco alive, he is gladly going to take one of the switches for us coming up.
Enemy shield analyzed.
Take a switch there. Take the 7th on the side here. Falco will take the 8th, which allows us to take the main switch. And get the chat, get it ready.
Good going, Fox.
I need chat to spam. Hit the brakes for me.
No, hit the brakes.
I can't stop it! Which summarizes the entire speedrun. Hit the brakes. We don't have brakes. We go fast. And that is Macbeth, which is also the end of Yellow Line. So, does that mean Yellow Line ends? So, there is 2 ways you can go about Yellow Line. Since it is technically called Yellow Line any percent. So, you can go down to Blue Line and do the bad ending. Or you can go to Red Line and do the good ending. Both have their own little separate categories, but all underneath one category because there's just not enough runners. So the fastest one to do is the bad ending, of course. So we're back in Boss. I hope you like Boss, because Boss pops up a lot. And it's annoying as someone who hates Boss. Anyways, this time Boss is a little bit different. So Boss plays a little bit different depending on how you play the ride. Also, nice time waste there hitting the pause button by accident. I keep forgetting for some weird reason I can't skip the cutscene there, so of course my speedrun rot brain thinks I can just hit the plus button to skip when I can't. So the core is now up. The good thing about this boss is it does play a little bit faster.
You'll be sorry you crossed us. Just what I need to see. Star Wars.
I nearly took out someone there by complete accident. Alright, boss is done. So, because we didn't do Finchner in Blue Line, Star Wolf was like, we haven't made an appearance yet. So, time to make ourselves known and ruin someone's day. So they spawn in Boss instead in Yellow Line. So with that, Boss is done. I get another relatively quick Boss, which is great. Any other time I'm going for world record, Boss is terrible. So we skip the cutscene because it can change behavior for Venom a little bit. Skipping the cutscene actually makes it a little bit quicker and saves us a little bit of time. And it also apparently changes the difficulty in Gilgamesh, as found out by Morks in the Star Fox 64 VC runs. Oh, lovely. I love when Falco does that. Picking up the gold ring here for double defense or double health. And it's Venom as per usual, as we saw in Blue Line. Hopefully a little bit cleaner than Blue Line. So we just continue the half boost here. As I said, left, left, left is the fastest way through Venom 1. Trying our best not to be blue balled, of course. So we skip all them, try and just stay to the ground. And we're doing pretty well. We've got plenty of bombs, which is great. So backup needed in case I double laser Andros again. All for the sake of charity. As I said, if I do lose wings again, I'll donate an extra $10 to charity. Ah! May as well grab another bomb. I don't need any gold rings, so I'm not going for that. You can make that a bit easier by throwing a bomb there just to make sure you don't get hit on the way through, but it's Blue Line, we should be all good. Alright, we're coming up to Gilgamesh again. That was relatively quick. Alright, so hopefully this time I don't somersault in Gilgamesh's tunnel. Gilgamesh's behavior as well is also linked to how close you are to Gilgamesh, so if you boost properly and keep up the boosting, Gilgamesh will actually summon less of the pillars to get in your way, which is usually the best outcome. Or you just kill him quick enough, so that's not a problem. In 3D, you can kill him very, very quick, as you've seen, and 64 not so quick for some weird reason. So I'm very glad I'm running on 3D. Do a full burst there after picking up the laser, which refreshes all our lasers too, so we're at back to full health. Shoot all his body, and then after 5 ticks, if you're able to hear the damage, you'll be able to hear it, the doot, 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 doot. So after that, 5 of them, he dies. But he doesn't actually technically die until Slippy does the analysis. My God. I killed him as Slippy said it, so that's probably about half a second slower, but my lord, I took so many hits. Alright, wow, Gilgamesh runs today, running into the wall. Bit of a slower Gilgamesh. So, since this run is so good, I'm not gonna risk, breaking my wings. So I'm actually going to break before going through. It is gonna waste me a little bit of time. Oh my God, I broke my wing regardless. Never mind. Playing it safe and I still broke my wing. Wow. Go me. I think I might have just threw world record in the bin. It's alright. It's alright. It's not like we're here for world records in the first place. A little bit slow going through that. So double laser. Andros. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Oh my God, I couldn't even kill the hand. Oh wait, it still could be world record. Never mind. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't even get to see the time. It double split on me. I think it was like 22, 24, but I think that might have been a new PB, hard to tell. Yay! Yes! Which is no surprise, I'm the only runner for Yellow Line, so if that was a new PB, huzzah, new world record. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I gotta shout myself out at some point. And proceeds to break wings as well, I know. That was such a bad run. Oh, man. I would like to not acknowledge that as a world record purely because of that. But huzzah, I guess. I didn't start on time either. That's why I said I actually have to verify if that was a world record or not. But as I said, it could have been. Let's get some GGs in chat for that. And let's also get... Well, I already broke 2 wings, so I guess that's $20 to charity. Just on my part, because I play bad. Oh man, but as I said, it's all for the sake of charity. It's all for a good cause, so we're up for that. Yes, update my splits. Alright, the last line. As far as I've seen, we still haven't hit the incentive yet for the final run to be added. Red line. Red line is by far the most interesting line out of all of them. It has seen the most runs seen for it in GDQ other than 100%. And there's a good reason for it. It's also my personal favorite run. I started with Redline for a reason. It's the hardest, but as I said, I love Redline, so I had to run it first. Took me 2 years to get world record, totally worth it. The former world record holder for Redline is 30 Cent, who is also the current world record holder for 100% as well, and the only runner for 100%. So huge shout out to 30 Cent, who is a former runner of this game. Of course, it doesn't split for me. So red line, we do have to do the same as yellow line. We do need to do, say, Falco and do the archers. We also need to make sure our bomb count is relatively high. We do make up for it with Zonus though, so we're good there. So we save Slippy. It is usually faster to let him die, but we save him because he's good boy. And red line, we actually find out why Slippy is better than Peppy. Peppy, as you've kind of seen, Peppy needs rescuing the most out of the teammates. He actually requires more help than what Slippy does, which is why Peppy is the absolute worst. So we slip through that again to spawn the bomb. We also pick this up for a triple laser. Slide down here. A fun fact, if you go underneath that arch, enemies spawn. So if you're going for score attack, you can spawn some enemies there. There's actually a lot of little arches you can fly through to spawn enemies in Corneria, fun fact. And it does make score attacking a little bit easier. So this time we do have to save Falco. As I said, there is a couple of ways you can save him, be it with a charge shot or a cuss, a charge unlock shot. But I just tend to find it a little bit easier just to manually shoot down the enemies because it's 3D. 3D does have the perks of being able to damage enemies a lot quicker, or they just have less health. I haven't worked out which one's what, but both seem to be true. Which is why we play on 3D settings, not N64 settings. N64 settings will make it very faithful to the N64, which means friendly fire is on, which can make levels faster, but the problem is, and why N64 settings are slower than 3D, is because of the damage multiplier not being on. You can also shoot these birds for extra bombs, but I'm sitting at 8, which is pretty snug, so I don't need any more bombs. So stick to the left here, a little bit faster, flying on the left. You can cut through the level a little bit faster. Hopefully this time the attack courier is a lot more cleaner than yellow lines. That was absolutely horrendous. How did that line actually PB? That was horrendous, so I must have started the timer very late. So Peppy does his little spiel, and then after that, the camera moves, and then we do the somersault. Hey, I actually did it properly this time. The swag happened. Does it save time? Not actually. It doesn't save any time. Thanks, Peppy. Kill that top one first, because it makes it easier to take out the bottom one, because it won't get in the way. Shoot the attack carrier, and that is how you do the attack carrier properly. Now, hopefully Zona's boss goes a bit cleaner than that. And my quickest Corneria to date, I think, is 305, 304. That one was about a 2.2 second faster. Alright, Sector Y. So I kind of brushed over Sector Y in the yellow line run because we skip half, like most of it, because we're boosting through it because it's just faster. Sector Y for red line no requires us to get a score attack of 100. So normally in the speedrun you would go to 90 and stop. But since it's 3D and we don't count the score at the end, I just do whatever and then call it a day. But I don't go overboard with it, of course. And that beginning was a little bit sus, but I've seen worse. So we keep half boosting, we come to this point and we just shoot down as many as we can, and then we throw a bomb, kill them. And as I said, if you are playing on N64 version, you can go into cockpit, go into this a lot faster. There won't be as much slowdown there as 3D or VC has. Take out the bottom line here. So we're at 48, we're usually about where I'd like to be, so I might take out a few extra enemies. Keep shooting these, try not to do a somersault here while you're boosting and scrolling up, which that happens to me more than I'd like to admit. We've got some enemies spawning here, so we take out the top. You can charge unlock shot these, which will give you more points, because the more enemies you take out in one shot, the bonus you'll get out of it. Which you will see people do in red line runs. Poto is probably the best red line runner to date for both N64 and for VC. And he's also the most knowledgeable too when it comes to IQ Star Fox runs. So IQ is probably the fastest way to run the original Star Fox, because not as much lag. Dialogue is also a lot quicker because it's in Chinese, and their characters, I think, are actually a little bit faster than even Japanese. And as far as IQ goes, that's as far as my knowledge actually goes. So VC IQ is the fastest, N64 obviously has its own category. 3D, I think Japanese is a little bit quicker. And then you've got the PC port, which is Starship, which is a recent category added. Is also another option for running. And nice. I didn't need to get the extra bomb, but I was like, yeah, may as well go for a bit of swag in this.
Different.
Alright, Shogun is back again, so hopefully round 2 of Shogun's gonna be a little bit cleaner than the last time since I'm allowed to do the quick kill. That just made it. First one down. Oh, he hit me and I went off trajectory. Alright. Managed to make it up as fast as I could, but I did get a little bit unlucky and got shot out of my range. So Shogun does have a quick kill. As I said, I didn't do it in yellow line because I was trying to preserve my bombs. Oh, he moved out the way, of course he did. I might get a second chance of doing this. Or not. Wow, okay, I'm not even gonna try anymore. This is why Shogun is the worst. Shogun on some days loves you, other days he's like, yeah, no, you're speedrunning. It's gonna be a huge time loss, like you're about to see. So unfortunately, yeah, there's some shenanigans with the bombs. If you hit him with a bomb, it will destroy all his armor, which does take away a lot of his health. Or he can just completely evade them and make your life an absolute living misery. But he's not the only one that causes your life to be a misery when you run Redline. Anyways, welcome to Aquas. The reason why Redline is a little bit more interesting, but it does make it a pain in the ass too. So Aquas is the only time you ever see the Blue Marine. The Blue Marine is developed by Slippy, which is why Slippy is the absolute best. So if Slippy designed the Landmaster, who knows what we would have had? We would have had huge amount of potential for the Landmaster. Who knows? The Landmaster actually could have had proper weaponry. It could have had infinite bombs, similar to the Blue Marine. The Blue Marine has infinite bombs, and they also give light. I mean, you can just keep firing them. They're the best weapon that the Blue Marine has. And as I said, it's a bit sad that the Blue Marine is the only time you ever see it is in Aquas. No other game has the Blue Marine to my knowledge. I could be wrong about that, don't quote me on it. But it is, as I said, it's a huge shame that the Blue Marine never pops up again. So Aquas, the best movement in Aquas, as you can see, is just constantly boosting. You just hold down your boost button and off you go, which also means we do a weird grip with it. So in my case, I will do a weird claw grip. I will hold down my Y button, which is my boost. Sorry, my X button. I'm getting my buttons mixed up. And just constantly boost. So at the end, we'll find out if I've done this right. We take out this big boy because he does slow that game down a little tiny bit. Taking him out on N64 is always great because he does lag up the N64 version a lot. VC, not so much. There's zero lag in VC regardless if you're killing. Bit of a killing spree here. We also don't take this checkpoint because, you know, we're speedrunning. We don't need it. Only cowards take that checkpoint in speedruns. I will take it though. I've had a bit of an awkward Aquas, which sometimes that can happen. Alright, so we're in the second half of Aquas, so we're coming up to the absolute joys of Aquas, which is the tunnel.
Keep shooting. We've got lots of torpedoes.
So for some weird reason, entering this tunnel, there's a bit of weird geometry. And this isn't the only 3D game to have some weird geometry. There's one other game I know that is a bit weird. Easiest way through this tunnel is just to stick to the left. Don't bother going to the right. If you stick to the right, you're not going to have a good day. The starfish will have a field day with you. Sticking to the left makes it a bit easier to target onto the starfish. If the jellyfish get in your way, you can shoot them or target them with a torpedo and they will stop in their tracks, making it a bit easier to get around them. As you can see here, sticking by the left. Oh, I actually took an explosion here. That's interesting. Once we make it to the end, if you stick to the right, don't ram the wall like that though. you will dodge the boulders. You won't have a boulder smack you on the head. And then after that, it's a little bit chill here. There's a couple of guys that will throw blue balls at you. Just take them down with lasers and torpedoes. And we make it to the boss. The easiest way to find out if we've done this right is we should be coming down from a boost and then make it to the end. That kind of tells us we've boosted properly through Aquas. So Bakun is, again, another one that can be an absolute joy to verse, and other days it can be a pain in the ass. So to make him open, we just tack these worms, shoot the tentacle thing, and then fire a torpedo. Take it out, and then rinse and repeat. You don't need to actually shoot the things up here. They can actually cause the worms to spawn a little slower. Whew, you're right there. Bakun doing a surprise attack on me. Alright, after that, just spam A and B at the same time. It usually gives you the best lineup. And I'm getting attacked by pearls. You want to shoot the shield that's covering its eye as fast as you can. And as I said, if you just spam A and B at the same time and then mash as fast as you can, it's usually the fastest way to get around it and make sure all of your shots line up. Otherwise, you just get bombarded like that and take out Bakun as fast as you can. Easy! Yep, that's kind of what Shogun is. I smell Speedrunner, let's get erratic. Hell yeah. Anyways, that's Aquas. As I said, that's the only time you see the Blue Marine. It is by far the most interesting ship in the game. And good boy Slippy designed it, which is why Slippy is a good boy and Peppy needs to go in retirement. Anyways, welcome to Zonus. Probably the second most interesting planet on Redline. And it won't surprise me if a lot of people here say that Zonus was the hardest planet they did on Redline. Casually, this was the hardest planet to learn. So I did that wrong. I did a charge shot, then a bomb. It's usually bomb, then charge shot. Don't know what my brain's doing at this point. I think commentary and speedrunning at the same time has done my brain in. But that's fine, it still worked. I'm at 6 bombs. By the end of Zonus, I want to be at 9. Because the boss requires a lot of bombs, and we're also going to need a lot of bombs in Area 6. Area 6 with bombs does make it a hell of a lot easier. So you can save Slippy there, or you can just boost to the left there and avoid Slippy coming in kamikazing into you. I don't know why he does that. He gets a little bit peeved that you don't save him and just boost away, which is why he kamikazes. That's just my theory anyways. This part can be a little bit awkward because you're trying to go as fast as you can whilst avoiding the rocks. So you either miss a spotlight or you just damage your wings so bad that you break a wing instead. I have had so many horror stories whilst learning Redline of that happening. Always an absolute joy. But now, these days, Zonus is a bit of a breeze because I've just done it so often, which is the joy of speedrunning. You just do something for so long that you wonder how in the world did you have problems with that. We skip the checkpoint, don't need it, unless of course you're really low on HP for whatever reason, you will take that checkpoint. Going into the second half of Zonus, take that there for a wing recovery. So if you've taken any damage on your wings, that will heal them. We charge shot that one to get the easy spotlight right behind it. The other fun fact about the spotlights is if you are going for the score attack, you need to make sure that you take out all of the spotlights as fast as you can. As soon as you are caught by one of the spotlights, you will no longer get that point bonus, which you see when I take out all of the spotlights. So instead of getting the +2, I think it is, you will just get a single point if you have been caught by these spotlights. So that's a fun little tidbit you can take away from the speedrun, of course. There is also a soft lock in Zonus for the N64 version and the VC version of Zonus if you are playing on NSO, Wii U, and N64. I'm not sure about the IQ version. I'll need to double check with Poto about that one. But I'm assuming that has the soft lock as well because it's related to the cockpit. So if you go into cockpit view going into the boss and focus on the right side of the map, it despawns a part of the boss and it will never start the boss fight. I have shown it off once by complete accident. You can check that out on my channel. But since this is 3D, we have no access to the cockpit. That soft lock no longer exists in the 3D version. However, there is one glitch that still remains in the 3D version, and it is the quickest way to take out this boss. This boss is always a joy. 8 bombs, we can work with 8. I just need to make sure I'm at 9 at the end of this. Aye, Captain. So throws the iron ball at me straight away. Iron ball may drop my speed in Trick Room, but it will do me some damage in this game. So we chuck a bomb. We chuck another bomb. We destroy that. We then destroy this. We then throw a bomb. We break up while facing up. The crane constantly gets hit because it gets confused because the hitbox keeps getting reset, which is why that happens. We take that bomb. We then shoot the main ship, and that is the submarine down. So that is the only glitch that does remain in the 3D version, is the quick kill. So for some weird reason, when you break and face directly straight up on the screen, the hitbox on the crane keeps getting reset, which is why 1 bomb will take the crane out instead of 3. So normally we need to throw 3 bombs at that crane to destroy it, but using that little hitbox reset glitch, it will make it that we only need to use 1, and it speeds it up tenfold. And saves us a lot of bombs, giving me 9 bombs at the end of Zonus, which is what I wanted. And we're now heading on to Sector Z. I've completely forgotten where I am. And Sector Z is autopilot for the first part. Similar to Finchner in Blue Line. We don't do anything. We just gotta wait for X amount of time to pass in-game, and then it'll actually start spawning in what we need to do, which is the missiles. Anyone who has gone for the score attack medal for Sector Z will be very familiar with this particular level. It is known as the hardest score attack medal by many, to which I say that title should belong to Venom 1. But it does require a score attack of 70, I think it's 70 or 75. Hunt can correct me on that one, since I did see him chat earlier. But it does require you to quickly take out as many enemies as you can at the start, or just debris laying around the field, and then take out every single missile. And the last 3 missiles does have Kat come in and try and take one of the missiles out. If she takes the kill, you will indeed miss the score attack medal. Alright, so missiles have spawned. We're going to keep doing some U-turns. We're going to do one last U-turn. Try and ditch this person coming after me. Oh, lovely. And then we're just going to slowly cruise. And then do a couple of brakes, then a boost, again go in for the missile, take it out, and then just go straight in for a U-turn. And that's the first missile down. 5 more to go. Shut up, Pepe! I've gone all this time not insulting you. I've got to insult you at least, ow, once. This guy's very persistent. No, Pepe, you can do something for yourself for once. Waiting for Rob to summon the next missile. He's being very slow. Alright, 2 and 3 finally spawn. I'm like, he's taking his sweet time spawning them. For this one, we just want to constantly keep somersaulting. Although I think I might have been in a bad position there. I might need to do a quick little U-turn and then U-turn again. Which I might not even have the time to do that. Yeah, they're spawned. So normally the missiles want to be dead before Rob finishes his sentence. As I said, my positioning there wasn't the greatest. Positioning means everything for quickly taking out these missiles. Kat spawns in, and she's about to ruin your day if you're going for the score attack medal. So for the score attack medal, as I said, you want to make sure you take down the missiles as fast as you can, because you'll get the score attack points for doing so. If you don't, you will lose 10 points, which is enough to kill the medal. And at the same time, as well as keeping all 3 teammates alive, is the other requirement for score attack medals. Alright, the last bunch of missiles are coming. We just want to do this again. I might even just do this, just to make sure I've lined up properly. Cat kind of gives me an idea of where I want to be. Quickly do this. And then that way, if I need to use somersault or boost, I can judge a little bit easier. And I'll do one somersault. And I'm going to do a little mini boost. There we go, easy. And then like that. Now, the only problem with 3D compared to N64 with this one is the map doesn't quite represent the boundaries, which is why I'm always a little bit cautious about where I stand in that map. Because as the boundaries are actually a little bit more in compared to what the map actually represents. Area 6 is by far the most fun planet in all of Redline. A lot of people will probably know Area 6 for being the most accessible out of Redline. Wouldn't surprise me though if Area 6 was the first planet a lot of people came across. So, Area 6, commentary-wise, just avoid. This is obviously a lot more entertaining in something like 100% or even 2K because you're killing everything and there's so many things to kill. As you can see, there's just enemies everywhere. So hopefully Peppy didn't take too many hits because otherwise I'm going into Venom 2 with half my team dead, which is never fun. So just boosting was enough to despawn all the enemies, which still counts as a kill. If you stick to the left side here and just go up and down, it'll automatically kill the missiles, meaning you don't need to do anything. So the next thing we do is we do a full burst here, launch a bomb, and we kill off those missiles. If we miss one of those particular missiles, it does cause a bit of a glitch in the game called the permadeath glitch. So that if you have any teammates dead at this point who died in Sector Z, if that missile is still alive and hits the Great Fox, it actually permanently kills that member. Normally, if a teammate dies in one level, they'll take the next level off and then come back in the level after that. In this case, it would have been Venom 2. But if they are stuck in that permadeath state, they will not come back in Venom 2, even if they took Area 6 off. Which is, you know, never fun. You have all of Star Wolf coming at you. That's not fun. We do have a little bee coming after me, which I'm going to not kill apparently. It's all good. I didn't want to kill him anyway. I did kind of want his gold ring, but oh well. I will take this gold ring instead. Or not, okay. I took damage for no reason then. Alright. We continue on. I don't get my gold ring. So sticking to the right here, just fly through a ship. Okay. As I said, hitboxes are weird in this game. It's never a time when hitboxes are consistent. Walls are just an illusion. We should know this from Ocarina of Time. Walls are a mere just a suggestion. Alright, Rob's gonna send us a bomb, which we're gonna need just to make Gorgon a little bit easier. This is the main reason why we need a whole bunch of bombs, is the boss for... Oh my lord, I just took a couple of missiles to the face. It's alright, it'll make Gorgon even more fun. Alright, Gorgon! We know Gorgon. No one likes Gorgon. Gorgon doesn't like speedrunners. He always knows when you're speedrunning. He knows when you're awake, he knows when you're asleep. He knows when you're trying to go for a PB or a world record. Gorgon knows everything. So the first thing we do is we throw a bomb as it spawns. There is also a timer now that's ticking down for when the Gorgon's tentacles spawn. When that timer hits 0 is when he despawns, and if you're quick enough to take out all of those tentacles, it will cause a phase skip, which is what we want in speedruns. But as I said, Gorgon doesn't like anyone, so Gorgon will never play that nice. So bombs will quickly get through this phase, or I feel like that never happens, which is why I never do the phase skip normally. So as soon as it spawns, we throw the power bomb when it comes visible. That's the best timing for 3D. And then same thing as last time, we shoot the tentacles, and of course, Gorgon never plays nice. Teleports away the moment he can smell I'm coming after him. That was quick. Alright, anyone who is sensitive to light, please close your eyes or look away, one of the two. We've got some bright light warning coming up. We call this the rave light. Although I am going to try to do my best so it's not flashing. It's not that bad in 3D, especially when that happens, but it can be a little bit strong on the eyes. So if you are sensitive to flashing, you can look back now. It might be a little bit bright still, but we're all good now. So that's Gorgon, and why no one likes Gorgon, especially in Redline runs. And the reason why Redline will probably never have a world record ever again. Unless, of course, I get a God run. And that is Area 6 done. Also, that lies. I doubt I'm ahead by 16 seconds. Alright, Star Wolf. Star Wolf kind of determines if you're gonna have a good day or not for Redline. So there's a couple of things we kind of want from Star Wolf here. Star Wolf has a couple of different actions they can do. They can barrel roll when shooting them, which is what we don't want, or they can just somersault. So we kind of want them to, well, barrel rolling is kind of what we want, but we don't want them to do it that much. Also, thanks Star Wolf for running into my lasers like that. And then once they're all dead, we want to go not like that. That's going to be a long one. So if you go clockwise around the map in this inner area, it will get you the fastest intro into Andros. But unfortunately, I did do a turn, but I didn't do it fast enough. And I got the longer intro, so a little bit of time lost there, sadly. I haven't had that happen to me in a while. So now we're in Andros's lair, so we're going to keep trying doing half boost, which I always forget to do. Half boosting, of course, is fastest, and we want to go right. And then the fastest way is right-left. And that will get you the fastest way into Andros. If you do need a power-up of the lasers for whatever reason, you can go right, right, left, and that will give you a laser upgrade instead of a life up. That's if you do need to go into a triple laser or a double laser for whatever reason. I'm not even going to try taking out the double hand today. And with that, Andros now reveals his true form. The real Andros. Show me the real Andros. Reveals robot Andros. No, the real Andros. Just a brain. He is literally the brains for a Lilat system. The first thing we do straight off the bat is a somersault, then throw a bomb. We then shoot the brain. We then go for another U-turn. And then shoot the back of the brain, which controls vision, of course, and go for the quick kill. Usually, the previous methods I've used is I shoot him and then quickly turn to the right. Nah, the quickest way is literally just the U-turn, and then you get the weak spot straight off the bat. Quickly shoot that down, and then that's the Andros fight done. Literally in like 5 seconds. So I hope he didn't blink. And we've got the last bit of the run, which is this. Everyone's favourite. So there is no consistent way of going through this. It's literally just boost and hope for the best. So hopefully James plays very nice today and gives us a route that's very nice, or he doesn't do the sudden turn, which he's known for. Also, why is my score 176? Normally I'm at 200. Wonder what happened there. Oh, I bet I know what happened. One of the Staff Wolf team ran into a pillar and I didn't get the score for it. Lovely, that can happen. So I actually didn't get credit for one of the kills. And that is it, folks. That's Redline.
You've become so strong, Fox.
And this run does need to be verified. I doubt it's a 30-minute 7. I highly doubt that. If that world record on that terrible run, then that says an awful lot. But I highly doubt that's a world record. I highly doubt it. Highly, highly doubt it. I mean, I could be wrong. That could be a world record, and I'm just sitting here going, well, 29 is definitely possible then. And that could be... I mean, I don't want to hype anyone up that that was a red line world record. If it was, shout out to MHF Silver. I think our leaderboard mod Silver for verifying my runs. You are the absolute GOAT. I mean, I highly doubt that was a world record. I started super late on this run. And that's the entire run for Trifecta as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to give a like on this run and subscribe if you do like Star Fox runs. I think, the only active runner for Star Fox 64 3D. And there is one other run I do, which is any percent, but sadly the incentive wasn't met for it, so any percent will be left for another day, and all stages will be left for another day as well. And if you are interested in Star Fox 64 runs, I will leave a link to it in the description of this video. By video, I mean when this gets uploaded on YouTube. I will try and throw a link on this for the VOD when it does get uploaded on YouTube afterwards. So it's there as well as the link to the Discord. If you are interested, you can ask any of our runners who are active. We've got Morks for VC, myself for 3D, which I beg for someone to come do 3D, please. I'm the only runner. I need some competition. But I will also give some beginner points as well for Star Fox 64 VC as well, if you need any tips on how to get into VC runs, as I'm happy to give any advice. Otherwise, our world record holder Mox will do that. There's also Star Falco, who also will give some advice. Otherwise, if you're interested in Starlink runs, which is the other Star Fox game that I run, Firefox and Scooter Rules are happy to give advice on how to run that. Don't bother asking me. I'm only good for Star Fox runs. For Starlink, I'm absolutely terrible, but again, I'm happy to give any beginner advice for that. And with that, that's Trifecta. It's a complete meme. Normally, it's blue line 80% red, so I did yellow line, so technically it's not valid Trifecta run, but hopefully you guys liked the commentary and the whole entire run. Regardless, I am absolutely pooped. And don't forget, this is for charity. So anyone on stream, !Starlight, all for a good cause, raising money for 6 kids in Australia. I will also leave a link to that in the description as well. I owe $20 for charity because I believe I broke my wings twice. Surprisingly, not on Katina, which I thought I was going to break a wing on. But again, I haven't done that for a while. Still sad I broke my wing in Yellow Line. When I could have gone for world record instead. 2 runs need to be double checked for if they are world records. I have a feeling that this run isn't world record, but I will double check it right now actually, because everyone's on their edge of the seat and I can't verify it until a little bit later today. But as I said, I doubt this is world record. I think this timer's a bit behind. Yeah, no, it's not world. I was gonna say, because world record is 29 minutes by me. It ain't world record. Sorry, guys. I was gonna say, I don't think that's world record. I'm pretty sure world record is like 29 minutes. But yeah, no, sorry, guys. It's not red line world record. This timer hasn't been updated properly, or I'm using the wrong timer. Sorry for the false hope on that one. I'm sorry. I clickbaited. It ain't world record. I wish, but as I said, that needs a god run. All right. I'm gonna go take a quick break. I need it. I need a drink too. I'm absolutely famished. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Oh, man. Could have gotten 3 more hits. What was the score I got in Redline? Oh. Yeah, for the special number. I've gotten that once. I think in one run. I think it was also a world record too. Why, oh, because I'm not signed in. I'm like, that's weird. Why do I need to log in? Quickly just doing my donation at the moment. Give me a second. I'm just going to take a break after that. Whew. Trifecta is rough. One day I will do a proper trifecta run. What? Hopefully Tiltify is not down. Broken Wings for kids. Okay, no. Are they down? Oh, man. Hold on 1 second. Are they down again? Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of my world records did get that. I need to double check. Are they down again? Tiltify, for some weird reason, has been going offline the entire time for the Starlight charity thing. Oh no, it worked this time. I don't know what the hell was going on. It was like, order ID expected. I'm like, I has an order ID. 244. Did that work? Oh, error. My God. Hey, it finally went through. And my alert didn't go off. Huh. Interesting. I will fix that. Oh, it worked. Everything went through. It's all gone through, but no alert. Go figure. Whee! Quickly check that. If anyone has tried donating through Tiltify, you might need to try it a couple of times as well for the donation. It's the first time I've done it, and oh lord, that was an experience. I have been told they've been very touchy the entire time we've been doing this. Why did the alert not go off? Please tell me I did add it. There we go, $70. So at 150 it was the solo challenge, where I got to go through Pokemon Crystal with one Pokemon and try and beat the challenge with that. As I've done it before, but I've thinking about bringing it back. It definitely is there. It's recognized it. Hold on. Did I not add it properly? There we go. I will fix it so it actually loads properly. Oh, alright. So I'm gonna go take a quick break. And I might do yellow line again, I think. I could do any %, but I feel like at that point, what was the point of doing the incentive for it? So we'll do yellow line closest we'll get to that one. So I'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. So have fun. Wait, that's not what I wanted.
When Thea came along, being the second child, she just slot right in. It didn't take long for her personality to come out though, pulling faces at strangers, and she just always had this cheek about her. So she was born to just fit in and be so easygoing, but also just make her presence so incredibly known. When Thea got diagnosed, it was completely out of the blue. John just made a comment that he'd seen something in her eye. It appeared to just be like a bit of a speck in her eye, and luckily it was the thing that John couldn't let go, and he started Googling, and then when we saw this could be really serious, things happened quite quickly. I think then the toughest part was once we'd made the decision of how we were going to treat Thea and explaining that she was about to lose her eye. She was 2.5 at the time, but her sister was very much aware. And we then saw her in the bathroom like covering one eye and looking around, and she was already thinking like, what's her life going to be like? In the blink of an eye, she'd gone from being so happy and healthy, to losing her eye.
After we came to hospital and were admitted, our first real interaction with Starlight was pretty much that day when we came in for the enucleation, where straight away the Starlight captains were there waiting for us, and as soon as we got there, it instantly changed the mood. Like even for us, as soon as we saw the captains, they were playing the music while she was getting her eye drops, and they just completely changed the experience. Where it was really good.
Every admission following, the first thing she asked for is, are the captains going to be there?
Yeah, coming up to the Starlight room and changing, that negative experience into playing and having a fun time, was just invaluable. It was second to none.
I could say 100%. If Starlight had not been around, I think it would have been unbearable for her.
2020, I can honestly say, I know COVID hit everyone. Forget COVID, it genuinely was the worst year of mine and Bertie's life. The biggest thing is that you can be living a completely normal life, and then at a drop of a hat, we have to stop everything. Bertie's actually been diagnosed with an arachnoid cyst, which is a cyst in his brain. There was just that much pressure being built up onto his skull. They just could not believe that he could even walk. He's had 10 rounds of brain surgery, and every time has been eventful. 3 emergency care flights, 10 weeks in hospital. For up to a year he couldn't walk. Physio, body combat, play therapy, OT, speech therapy. It has such an impact on how we live our life. That's why Starlight's so amazing, because my baby had 7 rounds of brain surgery in one time, and I was completely on my own. They were my saving grace for entertaining Bertie, being a support network. The captains come in and they just want to be like that burst of energy to really cheer Bertie up. The captains would sing, read stories, play with their little ukuleles, be silly. When you're in hospital for a long period of time, you do want to have that escape. I remember heading into the Starlight room, and the captain literally made this fake road. Bertie could use all his cars because at the time he was just obsessed. And the idea was that we needed to get Bertie to walk. Bertie was climbing, was walking, so we filmed it and then showed the doctor when we went out. prior to going in, no one could get him out of bed. And yeah, like I said, that captain just got it, you know, like I would never have even my imagination thought of that. When I asked Bertie what he would love to do, it was 100% to see Batman. When we went on our starlight wish, he was dressed head to toe. It was in heaven. Like he was chasing the Joker around movie world. He genuinely thought he was Batman. He saw Catwoman and he's like, "Stop, Catwoman!" You know, he fully submerged himself into that character and he just had the time of his life. When you go through trauma, you really need, you know, people to sort of lift you up and pull you through. And I think that Starlight fundamentally did that. Could not imagine, and I do not want to imagine, Starlight not helping us in the future or other families.
When Thea came along, being the second child, she just slot right in. It didn't take long for her personality to come out though, pulling faces at strangers, and she just always had this cheek about her. So she was born to just fit in and be so easygoing, but also just make her presence so incredibly known. When Thea got diagnosed, it was completely out of the blue. John just made a comment that he'd seen something in her eye. Appeared to just be like a bit of a speck in her eye, and luckily it was the thing that John couldn't let go, and he started Googling, and then when we saw this could be really serious, things happened quite quickly. I think then the toughest part was once we'd made the decision of, you know, how we were going to treat Thea and explaining that she was about to lose her eye. She was 2.5 at the time, but her sister was very much aware. And, you know, we then saw her in the bathroom, like covering one eye and looking around. And, you know, she was already thinking, like, what's her life going to be like? In the blink of an eye, she'd gone from being so happy and healthy, to losing her eye.
After we came to hospital and we were admitted, our first real interaction with Starlight was that pretty much that day when we came in for the enucleation, where straight away the Starlight captains were there waiting for us, and as soon as we got there, it instantly changed the mood. Like even for us, like, you know, yeah, as soon as we saw the captains, they were playing a music while she was getting her eye drops, and yeah, they just completely changed the experience. Where it was really good.
Every admission following, the first thing she asked for is, are the captains going to be there?
Yeah, coming up to the Starlight room and changing, you know, that negative experience into playing and having a fun time, like, was just invaluable. It was second to none.
I could say 100%. If Starlight had not been around, I think it would have been unbearable for her.
Thank you, Starlight.
These kids go through so much in their life. For them to have whatever their wish is to come true is just amazing.
My wish is to meet the lifeguards at Bondi Rescue.
I didn't tell Caitlin until we got in the car.
And then I looked in the car and there was a feather out there. And I'm like, I opened it.
Oh, she was screaming.
Look, today it was great to have Caitlin come down for the Starlight Foundation, and she always wanted to come to Bondi and see what happened here after watching the show for many years. And what I saw today was just really, really great. She just loved every minute being here.
She will never forget this. The whole thing from start to finish is just, you know, she's happy.
Alright, that feels a lot better. I had to get some honey and lemon tea for my throat. My throat was burning at the end of that. Oh man. As it was a good run though. Like, all three of those runs definitely were up there in regards to quality. I think Blue Line was the only one that might have been a bit iff, but that was about it, which was great. That's the only thing I always get worried about for charity runs is, oh god, what if there is a major skill issue and I actually go to the wrong route in a Blue Line, for example? That's the most common one. Or what if I don't hit one of the secret missions that I need to hit? It's like, oh god, all of like the pre-game anxiety that you tend to get for a speedrun. Which, I mean, a good example of that was one year for GDQ, Poto was doing Redline, and he was just so in the moment with the vibe that he completely forgot that for Redline you need to get 100 in Sector Y. But he was just so in the moment, and he forgot that, you know, he was in a charity environment. He was like, oh whoops, I'm supposed to get 100 but I only got like 90 or something like that. Luckily, the event was nice enough to let him reset, but it was just like, damn, he actually... The way that he ran that event, he actually could have gotten probably close to world record with that run as well, from memory. I was like, damn, imagine if he didn't make that one mistake. He actually could have come close to world record with that run. It was a really good run too. It was extremely informative and entertaining at the same time. As I said, Poto is an absolute legend for Redline. Not gonna come anywhere close to him. Anyways, I'm gonna do like one yellow line run for Japan and see how that goes, and that'll probably do it for me today. Otherwise, as I said, 3 rapid fire speed runs with 3 different categories. Whew. I mean, I could have easily done 5, but for commentary, probably not. Really? What the? Hold on. I got some shenanigans that just happened. I was like, no wonder it didn't work. Let me completely restart that. I'll just make sure this is working too. No, it's working. I was like, that was interesting. Let me double check the settings for this. Nope, it is right. Absolute shenanigans. I know, it just blew up on me. I was like, damn, that shouldn't have happened. I need it to not be locked onto that, so when I press my button, it doesn't go, hey, and it blows up. Okay, I'll just leave it there and that should work. I don't know why it just didn't start. Sometimes the auto start doesn't work. I mean, we saw that an awful lot, but then again, as I said, I've got my auto start set to Japanese, not English. Sometimes it wants me to be clicked on the timer, other times it doesn't. Or it just refuses to work some days. Actually, you know what I could have done? I could have done some Starlink runs. Okay, today we're not working. It was working when I tested it. I reckon I've touched something. One thing I didn't bring up in that commentary was the only problem with 3D, since there's no friendly fire, we can't do kill slippy. The only way we can do kill slippy in 3D is to set it to N64 settings, so it allows friendly fire. Always reminding myself to get that bomb as well is so rough because I don't pick it up on red line. There's no point to. But since yellow line requires so many bombs. Sometimes that can be faster as well. It's one thing I didn't also point out was sometimes that can be faster. Killing 2 and then killing the last one on a second boost. But there's like a lot to cover on a commentary, especially when it's just me commentating. Also trying to remember like what I've got to be doing in-game as well. It's like, damn, not enough of my brain power to designate to playing and commentating. So when's the racing? I don't know. I haven't got a clue when the racing starts in this game. It shows that I'm not a true Star Fox 64 player if I don't know when the racing starts. I'm being sarcastic, by the way. How you doing, Gregory? No, it's been good. We just finished a charity run. My throat is buggered. So probably not going to be as much commentary on this one. It's like, oh, my throat is so hoarse. Like, I just had some honey and lemon tea. Try and ease my throat up, but it's like, whew. I haven't got a clue how I would have went if I had to do like a full-blown like 5 runs. My mashing is off tonight too. I did notice that during the run. It's like, damn, my thumb is killing me today, which I mash with. Also fake gold. Because I didn't start the time right on the correct spot, so probably took me a second to start the timer. And plus the carrier fight wasn't exactly the smoothest. Can you stop shooting me, mate? I'm not shooting you. Peace! Peace! We're playing pacifist. Pacifist. Can't even speak English today. My English is done. I've used up all my English. Pacifist run. Or no hit run. Except I've taken all the hits in the world. One day I'm gonna sit down, I mean it's a very, very long run, and do like a low score run just for the lols. Yeah, that's what I mean. I can't speak English. Plus dyslexia and speech impairment. Also having fun there. I mean, for many, many years when I was a kid, I always pronounced my name as Kafwen, like with an F instead of a TH. So it probably wasn't until I was like 6 or 7 that I was able to pronounce my name properly. And then since then I've kind of just gone, I can't speak properly, so be it. I think I did 2 or 3 years of speech therapy. It's like they managed to normalize a lot of my speaking, but still a lot of issues with certain words. Although to be fair, can still speak better than Ben. Not today. I knew it. I was like, as soon as I sit down and do like specialized runs, I'm gonna have a real bad run with this. So I'm glad I didn't get this during a charity run. I was like, damn. That's what I was really worried about, was a really bad opening to Shogun. I was like, yep, that'd be exactly on point for me at the moment. But no, I'm kind of glad the facade kept up for a little bit there. Oh, come on, dude, really? So plays nice with me there. That's right, Katina will completely die. So Little Minion 2 decided not today, and then Big Boy was like, yeah, Peppy. It's like, can I kill someone? That's why Katina is so annoying, because if that happens, it's game over. That's usually a reset. Nah. Oh, I must have got it because I got the communication thing. Never mind. I was like, that's a horrible Katina, but I still got 2. I must have got it right at the edge there. No, I didn't. I got 3. Normally Rob doesn't communicate unless I've got 2 Atches dead. I must have hit it right on the cutscene, so I didn't count. Yeah, I hit it right on the cutscene, so it didn't count. And I broke a... Did I break a wing? No, I didn't. Well, it's a reset regardless. Don't update them. Alright, one more go. That's the worst case scenario for Katina, which I'm glad, as I said, didn't happen on the one yellow line run that happened through Katina. It was like, damn, can you imagine if that happened? I was like, damn. Katina's the most impressive one to pull off. To fail it in a charity run would have been absolutely heartbreaking. So I'm glad it happened in my own time. But damn, that sucks. And that's why Katina is absolutely horrible. And it's random to whether or not that bomb throw at the start kind of counts, because I've done so many trials with Katina for the opening, and you get some that work, you get some that fail. It's never consistent. Whereas N64, they've managed to make it very consistent. Bit hard to do in 3D when you can't get rid of the variables that cause Katina to be very inconsistent. Include that in the bloopers? Nah, it's already going to be a long enough video without bloopers. I mean, this is already going up on YouTube. The only thing that YouTube doesn't like is some of the Starlight trailers. Did I not pick up one of the bombs? I think I didn't. I think I just dozed off and did what I do for Redline. So I'm going to be a bomb short. I'm gonna have an absolute joy trying to edit that video too, because I'm like, I kind of didn't set myself up properly at the start, which is gonna make transitioning into the run a little hard. I'll figure something out. But some of the music they use for the Starlight stuff has some copyrighted music in it, I've noticed. I've picked up a couple of times by YouTube for it, which makes it a bit awkward. So I'm probably gonna make it, what's today, Wednesday? I did have plans of doing the 3D randomizer this weekend. I might leave it maybe for the next, see how we're going for time and all that. Marathon stream this month really did kind of screw up my schedule a little bit. It's like, damn. Although we did get the meme that Star Fox 64 is a racing game out of it. Like, where's the racing, guys? I mean, to be fair, the only time you consider it a racing game is whenever I run it, but still. Split's not working today. At all. As in, I expected it for... You race a train? Not really, I blow the train up. I mean, sure, it kind of looks like a racing game whenever I speedrun it, but whenever I go for score attack, hell no, it's the opposite of a racing game. It's go as slow as I can. I actually turned down the % chance of the bot replying, so now it's a bit more of a randomizer game for whether or not the bot will say hello or not. Although I did ask the bot, what's the fastest route for Star Fox 64 3D? And it said the no route. And I was like, the what route? I'll try that again. See what the bot says, what is the fastest route. The correct answer is blue line. Although any %'s not too far off it either. Any % kind of takes the cake for fastest route. But then again, that depends on who you're asking what is the fastest route. A normal N64 player will say, I think any % still fastest. Only just. But blue line comes pretty close. But having said, the reason why it sounds the same is because any % in N64 is very different to 3D's any %. You're supposed to shoot them all. For 3D, not so much. I just prefer Japanese because my brain doesn't lock onto the voices as much. And for audio cues, I find it easier. In N64, I believe Japanese is a little bit faster, but it also depends what route you're running and if you're doing VC or N64. I haven't done too much research into whether or not JP is faster for 3D. It might be ever so faster because of the speech, which triggers a little bit of the flags. That's it, I haven't done that much research into it. Why is it in the last run you decided to be very nice? Today you're all over the place. He couldn't even be nice for a charity run, could he? I love how this worked also perfectly in test run. Come stream, nah. Not working at all. Oh, to be fair, I actually haven't double checked it. Oh no, yellow line should be fine. It's 80% I haven't checked the auto split for. Oh, Peppy, what the hell? Are you kidding? That's 2 runs in a row Peppy has decided to get in my way. As I said, I'm glad this didn't happen in the charity run. Peppy actually got out the way. Normally Peppy would be dead. It's like, go away, Peppy! This is why Peppy's the worst. If it's not Peppy, it's Bill. Because Bill can just straight up say, no, you're not speedrunning today. One more go. One more. It's like, I'd like to get a potential yellow line off the ground. I mean, I'm glad this isn't any percent, because that's the roughest. Oh. I'll have runs where I won't hit anything there, and then I'll have days where I just hit that every single time. Today's just one of those days I'm hitting it constantly. Tell you what, this is an easy way to practice Sector Y and Corneria. Just keep doing Yellow Line and failing, or any percent. Both of those will get you great practice for Corneria and Sector Y. Not so much for beating Sector Y with the score attack, but just for getting through it. And Shogun practice, I guess. I remember there's something about Japanese version have a faster carrier for some weird reason. It's like the hatches open up faster on Japanese N64. I don't think that rings true for 3D. I think they did fix it so they're both the same. But to be fair, I have failed the Japanese carrier a couple of times, so maybe they are slightly a bit faster. As I said, I'll have to double check that. Hi, Rob. Bye, Rob. Nice time loss by not even in my control. Normally when I reset this run, I will turn the 3DS off for that reason, because it resets the timer for the Rob and Peppy jump scares. Because that will never show up in a speedrun if you're doing it optimally. But if you're just like racing the game in-game, then their timer counts up and that happens instead. So it's like, whoops. I haven't even been resetting optimally either. Go away! So minor time loss because I'm bad at resetting. But yeah, that weird little lag there with actually entering this area, that actually doesn't exist in N64 or VC just because of cockpit. You go straight in. Oh lord. That time it was Rob. Peppy just gives you a hint, like finally revealing that charge unlock shots are a thing, even though N64 never mentioned it. Even though it's a thing. Like nowhere in any of the strategy guides, the manual, anything refers to charge unlock shots. It wasn't until 3D that Nintendo actually acknowledged it. I was like, damn. Now, if only we knew that back in N64. I reckon too that trifecta run, probably would have been around an hour and hour 30, I think it was. It's around what I estimated, which is good. I can't wait to see what it actually was when I load it into my video editor. The only way I find out. So one day I'm actually going to do a proper trifecta run. One shot off, I was going to say. I'm pretty sure I was one hit off. I'm just not mashing fast enough today. You can blame my crutches. I'll admit my crutches have been wearing out my wrist. I noticed that when I was playing Paper Mario, I was like, oh, I can't mash as well as I normally do. It's like my poor wrists are so worn out. Where are you? It's alright. Obviously it can be a lot better. Alright, I can't wait for Peppy to get in the way for this one. It's like, are you kidding? We're like 3 runs in a row if Peppy stops this.
Good luck.
Well, at least Peppy didn't stop it this time. Alright, I got 2 hatches. Alright, we actually have a run. I think I was close to 3. I think it's gonna come down to like me just lining them up a bit better. Wait. I was gonna say, I saw 2 hatches explode. At least that part's the easiest. It's just getting to the 2 hatch part. As if there's just days it works and other days it's like, yeah, good luck. Solar, so boring. I legitimately, like beforehand, I was like, what do I say during solar? Solar, there's nothing that happens. The only thing I can bring up that's interesting is you can't die from heat damage, and that's it. That's the only interesting thing about solar. It's a fire planet. It has birds, and you constantly take damage that you can't die from. Unless you get hit by something else. And it has rocks. And Bill's annoying. Oh, I actually got the bomb this time. Like, from a viewer perspective, how would you describe solar to another viewer? Other than hot planet, constantly take damage, need bombs, that's it. I can't think of any other way to describe solar, like what goes on. Because nothing really goes on. I mean, you can get screwed out of RNG, or you get RNG like that, where you go from, what was it, 4 bombs up to 8? And as I said, there's not too many speedrunners that really know how to, I guess, optimize solar all that well, other than just boost well and avoid the lava and the fire. That's it. Like, you can't really optimize it all that well because it's blah. There's just nothing to optimize. Oh, and mash fast on the boss. That's about it. Also, going into Macbeth with 9. That's a good solar. And that's solar. As I said, there's just nothing to say in solar. There's nothing that happens. You just collect bombs and go fast. And avoid fire. Like Rainbow split for no reason. And I can't even think like what I did differently.
Good luck.
I'm pretty sure that train's not too far off dead. Nah, he's out of range. It's like you can get an early bomb off on it, but you gotta be very quick and your aim has to be good. I've done it once. And it makes this whole section weird. It is possible, as I said, it's just you gotta be very quick. Well, I mean, that makes that easy. I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to do that. It's like, I know I get a lot of bombs, but still, why am I wasting them like this? Oh yeah, I forgot when Falco just instantly dies there. If you don't save him. That also reduces a lot of lag in N64 as well. If you want an easy way to make Macbeth run really fast on original hardware for N64, just shoot the train down. You get all, like, you'll be surprised by how fast the game speeds up. Wait, Falco's dead. I just realized something. I have to shoot one of these switches manually. Because Falco normally does it, so I've got to do it myself now. Hopefully I remember where that switch is. I can't remember the last run I did where Falco actually died. I think it's like over here. I missed one. I missed one of the earlier ones. Oh my god, I have to actually kill this boss. And this is why it's faster to just hit the switches. It's so hard. Shooting this boss down manually. I've tried learning this boss so much. I've even asked for advice on the Discord, and a lot of people just can't be asked actually like shooting the truck down. Oh, I fucking missed. And you get a time limit. Hold on, I'm just gonna show the kill screen. Screw it. You're getting a kill screen instead. We're gonna be here for a while though. Two hundred meters left. We should be coming close. Why is there a random ass gate there? We're coming up to it. Oh, if I don't die first, that is. It's normally about 5 minutes to get the kill screen. The game just like gives up then and just kills you. I mean, as I said, it wasn't technically run over. I'm just like, eh. The quick kill is, well, the fuel station kill is the fastest way in 3D. Technically, killing it by hand is faster, but in 3D, I just can't work it out for the life of me. It's just so much slower. 400. We're coming up to it. If I don't die, that is. Can you not? Should be coming up to it. How long have we been going for? Time will tell. I mean, you get to see some lovely scenery that you normally don't see. $500. We should be coming up to kill screen. Like that. There we go. That's the kill screen for Macbeth. If you don't beat it fast enough, the thing just comes down and just says, nope. Not today. But he'll say, like, some sort of fancy thing and then just take out the Landmaster and there's nothing you can do about it. He just runs down and goes, nope, and then that's a kill screen. There is a couple of kill screens that exist in the game. The other one is Gilgamesh, has a kill screen as well. But the one I know the most is that one. Because I always do it whenever I'm like, I finished. Anticlimactic? Not really, because it's not something you usually see very often, and to be fair, I don't think I've ever done it for 3D. But yeah, it's like, if you don't kill it in time, you'll get this message from the guy. He's like, it's all over, and the boss just comes down, rams into you for a one-shot. And it's like, damn. Guess that's my fault for having a skill issue, I guess. I mean, the other ones, it's just you run into a wall. For that one, the boss actually just goes Super Saiyan and one-shots you as punishment for not beating it in 5 minutes. I think it's 5 minutes? I felt like 5 minutes. I was like, damn, this is going forever waiting for it. No one to raid again. Sad face. No Ben either, because he snoozes, he loses. He's still asleep. Anyways, that's it for me. I just rolled over 3 hours. I was like, perfect. I was trying for 3 hours because I saw the charity run and did it too, and I was like, oh my lord, my throat's dying, but I want to try for a 3-hour stream, which is what I normally do, and we hit it. Yes! Mission accomplished. We did the charity run. My voice is just barely alive. And we did it. So I'm about to go take a real good voice break. As I said, I'm really starting to feel a bit hoarse in my throat. All you had to do was catch the train, Fox. Oh man. See, I can't. I need Ben to show me how to speedrun Star Fox 64 3D. I mean, perfect proof was at the end there. I couldn't take the boss out. I couldn't shoot all the switches, which as a first, I must have missed one of the earlier switches. Did I really miss switch 2? Interesting. I thought I would have missed one of the later ones, but oh well. As I said, I will double check to see if one of them was a world record. Hard to say. Yeah, the charity yellow line could have been a world record, but it's hard to say if I was using the right timer or not. Anyways, thank you so much everyone for that stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said, I'm gonna upload that charity run with all its details and description and everything as well. So if you wanted to check out the Star Fox 64 speedrun website, you'll have a link to that, plus the Discord if anyone wants to speedrun either this game or the original Star Fox for N64 or NSO, as well as Starlink. They're all in the same Discord, which is great. I'm always on the Star Fox 64 speedrun Discord, happy to help anyone. As I said, it's a bit iffy whether or not I'll be able to help you with 64 original hardware or VC, but as I said, there's Morks there who runs original hardware plus VC. He'll be able to help you with that one. Poto sometimes drops by if IQ questions ever get dropped, or if anyone's asking about Redline, he's the best one to ask about that. And of course, as I said, I'm there for 3D questions. And then for Starlink, we have Firefox and Scooter Rules, who will be very, very happy to help anyone get into Starlink, be it the PC version, which is the fastest for any percent, or even the Star Fox categories. They are happy to help. I can kind of help with those categories, but as I said, they're probably the better ones to ask for that one. And with that, hopefully Ben streams tomorrow, otherwise I'm going to roast his ass tomorrow and get him to finally stream. And I will probably be doing Tinglu raids tomorrow, just to give my voice a bit of a break. And we also need to do Tinglu raids anyways, so we'll be doing a stream based on that for those curious, so I'll be probably doing that tomorrow. And then that gives me a chance as well to start preparing for the next charity thing I've got in mind. And if Ocarina of Time doesn't happen this weekend, it will be the following weekend. But that's kind of my plans. I'll kind of work around that. But until next time, when my voice is a bit recovered, hope you have a good day or night. And until then, peace.